everyone hates tipping. Everyone thinks it's like you're subsidizing the bar owner to pay for his staff. Now, I've said 1,000 times over, you would do that anyway. It's going to happen. That's just the nature of the beast, right? Because if you take it away and our costs stay the same, we're just going to add it into the bill. So if your $7 Bud Light is going to be $8, that's just how that's going to work. It is what it is. Some of it you won't see any change really. Some places you will, but for the most part, we're just going to add it in, which some people say they're fine with. But anywho, the whole point of the tip is to give the customer complete control on what that server deserves to be paid based off of the experience they've been given. In the hospitality business, their goal is to give a great experience so you enjoy yourself and come back. I can't be shadowing every bartender and server when they give the customer an experience, right? I can't be there for every service. So tipping is something that I love because you're essentially getting watched by your boss, who's the customer, every time you go to serve somebody. And if you take out the ability for the customer to determine what you get tipped, that is no longer an option anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. You're auto-gradding 18% and you're moving on. You don't care if you're that nice or if you need you want to serve as many tables as you want, so you want their order quick. Okay, come on guys, what do you want? Okay, that's great. All right, sounds good. Yep, bye. And then it's no longer a service. It's no longer giving them a great experience, which likely means they might not come back. Of course, late night at 12:30 p.m. and there's a guy, he's had a few drinks and he's being a little rude. Can you be rude back to him? You bet you can. I'm not gonna get mad at you for that. But when Tidbit TiVo sits down and he's trying to enjoy his lunch and you're gonna slap an autograd on him and you barely pay attention to the guy, that is a problem. We need that. We don't need you to be paying attention because Tidbit TiVo might come back for lunch the next day. And he may work in the area, and he might make Texas, Arizona, or River Street Garage his lunch spot because he loves how the server that works most of the days, it treats him, and it's a nice thing. Because here's the other thing, guys: everyone pretty much serves the same beer. Bar food is pretty much bar food. Some places are better than others, but it's not like extraordinary. You're not getting cream of the crop food. You're getting burgers, and it's hard to make a burger that much better than somebody else's burger. It's difficult. So, that's what you're getting. And so what is the difference? The difference is the ability to watch 1,000 TVs, when March Madness is on, be able to see all the games. You don't want to have to just watch one, right? Or a couple. The difference is the service, the environment. All of that is what makes the customer come back. And the service is such a big part of that when you slap autograd, I hate autograd. As a customer, as a bar owner, I cannot stand autograph. And I just don't think that we should ever be doing it because I think that it takes away the whole point of the tipping. It needs to be in the customer's hands as much as possible because that's how it works for everybody. And there's always going to be those people that suck at tipping and they don't want to do it, or they had a great time but they end up tipping 5%. You're always going to have that. That's part of the business. But at the end of the day, the goal is to give a great service and actually get rewarded for said service. That is the goal at the end of the day. TiVo, are you an anti-tip person?
Anti-tip, as in I don't like to tip?
Yeah, like you feel like we should just add, like you feel we're the only industry that does this, other than tipping baristas. Like, do you think that we should just add it into our bills, not autograd, but like add it into the cost of the beer?
I don't know. Might need a second cup of coffee. I think there's certain things that I don't like. Like I hate. I mean, I pulled this up because like something's brewing in the public membrane here because like tipping culture, especially this new age, like everybody's on the tablet and they flip it around on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it's a meme now, right? Like there's all these different memes, based on tipping culture. And because it is funny, like ordering your last meal before the electric chair. Please leave a tip. It's like tipping culture. I think it's good. I like it in the sense, like it says, it implores good service. And even when that tablet gets flipped around on you, you definitely feel like obligated to do it a little bit more. Like there's the public pressure of it. But like if I get bad service, I have no problem, putting. I'm not saying at a bar or restaurant like for food, but if I get a iced coffee for $3 and like it takes forever and they get the order wrong and all that, it's like I don't want to, and then like, okay, what are you're doing 20% on $3? I feel like the percentages have gone up and up and up, and it's getting something is getting out of control with it a little bit.
I can tell
So I
you,
think there's certain industries that should just build it in.
yeah, I can tell you this as a bar owner and a good tipper. I can tell you my standard rule. If you are not getting paid as a tipped employee, meaning if you tipped employees across the United States can get paid. I don't know exactly what it is in every state. I think it's different in every state. But in New Jersey right now, it's like $5.35, somewhere in that ballpark per hour, right? Minimum wage, obviously above 15 here in New Jersey. And so significantly below minimum wage. And so you get paid as a tipped employee, meaning that you're going to make a lot of money from tips. If you don't get paid as a tipped employee, then the most you're getting out of me is like $1 or $2. Because what you just did for me, make a sandwich, make my cup of coffee, whatever you just did for me, you're paid to do that service. That is what you're paid to do. You don't need more. You got hired to do this job and you did it and you've been paid. So I don't feel the need to tip you on top of that. Now, I will say, if it is my standard cost, sandwich shop, I'm a big sandwich guy. If I go to my standard sandwich shop and they're going to give me the extra mayo with oil and vinegar and it's a great sandwich, I'll give you a little tip because I want to keep that coming. I'll pay a little extra for my sandwich so I have a great sandwich every time because sandwiches are hit or miss, right? But for the most part, and I will, to be clear as well, maybe not coffee, it's too it's too much. But like, let's say I'm going to pizza or whatever like that. You got paid, but maybe I throw an extra $1 or $2 in there for, because I'm, for whatever reason, wanting to give you a little extra. That's fine. But I'm not tipping 20, 25% on things that you're already getting paid a proper quote unquote, according to the government, livable wage to do. That is not how I operate. If you're not getting paid on as a tipped employee, typically I may throw you $1 or $2 on something, but that's it. I'm not clicking the 25%. I'm not clicking the 15, 20%. Unless you're like my neighborhood place I'm gonna come to every day. I'm not doing it because you've been paid well enough now. I don't need to keep doing it. Whereas my staff and stuff like that, they're getting paid $5. Now, to be clear, before I get roasted for this in the comments, if nobody were to tip my employees, I have to pay the minimum wage. So it's not like it's optional. If you did shit, you made $5 an hour this week or this pay period. That's not how that works. If they do shit and they do a terrible job and nobody tips them, and they make $5.35 an hour for that pay period, I have to make up the difference to minimum wage. That's the rule.